Have you ever wondered what life is like in the heart of the Middle East, in a country rich in history and oil? In a land of deserts and dreams lies a nation that embodies the paradox of progress and tradition. Welcome to Saudi Arabia, a nation of contrasts, where glittering skyscrapers stand tall against the backdrop of age-old customs and societal norms. Today, we unveil the layers of this enigmatic society, exposing the cracks beneath the surface and delving deep into the heart of what makes Saudi Arabia a paradoxical blend of modernity and tradition. Saudi Arabia is known for its vast deserts, its oil wealth, and its luxurious cities. But beneath the surface, there's more than meets the eye. Migrant workers. While the wealthy few revel in extravagant luxuries, millions struggle to make ends meet in the shadows of towering skyscrapers. We'll uncover the staggering wealth disparity that plagues Saudi society, leaving many behind in the pursuit of prosperity. Did you know that 1/3 of Saudi Arabia's population is made up of migrant workers? Their plight often goes unnoticed, hidden behind the glitz and glamour of the cities. Behind the glitz and glamour lies the harsh reality for migrant workers who form the backbone of Saudi Arabia's economy. Exploited and marginalized, these individuals endure grueling working conditions, meager wages, and rampant abuse with little to no recourse for justice. Human rights activists play a crucial role in advocating for the rights of vulnerable populations, including migrant workers. These individuals dedicate their lives to challenging unjust systems and demanding fair treatment for those who are often exploited and marginalized. Migrant workers are the backbone of many industries, yet they often face harsh working conditions, exploitation, and discrimination. From construction sites to agricultural fields, from domestic work to manufacturing plants, migrant workers toil away in grueling conditions, often for meager wages, and without basic rights and protections. The work of human rights activists is not without risks. Many face harassment, intimidation, and even violence for speaking out against powerful interests. Yet, despite these dangers, they continue to courageously stand up for what is right, driven by a deep sense of justice and compassion. Although migrant laborers are not the only group oppressed in Saudi Arabia, the country's female populace also suffers at the hands of those in positions of authority. Women's rights. Despite recent progress, gender segregation is another glaring issue. Women in Saudi Arabia face systemic discrimination and are subjected to a labyrinth of restrictions on their freedom of movement, education, and employment opportunities. The infamous guardianship system treats adult women as legal minors, requiring them to obtain male permission for even the most basic tasks. Historically, Saudi Arabia has been known for its conservative interpretation of Islamic law, which has heavily influenced societal norms and governance. This interpretation has often resulted in restrictions on women's rights, particularly in areas such as guardianship, mobility, and participation in public life. However, these limitations have disappeared as a result of the recent rule changes. Women's participation in the workforce remains relatively low compared to global standards, although initiatives have been launched to increase female employment opportunities and entrepreneurship. Despite these efforts, cultural barriers and gender stereotypes continue to hinder women's full integration into the economy. In conclusion, the issue of women's rights in Saudi Arabia is multifaceted, encompassing legal, cultural, and social dimensions. While progress has been made in certain areas, challenges persist in achieving full gender equality. Understanding the complexities of this issue requires a balanced perspective that acknowledges both the advancements and the remaining obstacles on the path toward women's empowerment. All this leads us to the man in power, MBS Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud. In the corridors of power in Saudi Arabia, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, has emerged as a polarizing figure, touted as a visionary reformer by some and condemned as a ruthless oppressor by others. Under the veneer of modernization and progress lies a darker reality, one characterized by widespread human rights abuses and a climate of fear and repression. The plight of individuals under MBS's rule encompasses a broad spectrum of injustices affecting citizens and residents alike. Dissent is swiftly silenced through arbitrary arrests, enforced disappearances, and systemic torture. Activists, journalists, and political opponents find themselves targeted by a regime intolerant of criticism and dissent, while religious minorities face discrimination and persecution. Moreover, the Saudi government's track record on executions and draconian punishments remains deeply troubling, with arbitrary and extrajudicial killings continuing unabated. The recent execution of dissenters and peaceful protesters underscores the regime's blatant disregard for fundamental human rights and due process. It's crucial to acknowledge the controversies surrounding MBS as well. The assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, widely believed to have been orchestrated by Saudi agents, has raised serious concerns about MBS's commitment to freedom of expression and the rule of law. Ever wonder what happened to journalist Jamal Khashoggi? In October 2018, the world was shaken by the disappearance and subsequent death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi, a Saudi Arabian dissident and prominent journalist, entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, on October 2nd and never emerged. Investigations later revealed a chilling truth. Khashoggi was brutally murdered inside the consulate. While initial Saudi statements denied any involvement, mounting evidence, including Turkish intelligence reports and international pressure, pointed towards the involvement of Saudi officials. The circumstances surrounding Khashoggi's death shocked the world. It ignited a global outcry, prompting widespread condemnation and calls for justice. The murder raised serious concerns about press freedom, human rights abuses, and the conduct of governments in silencing dissenting voices. However, will these problems ever be settled, or is it just a feature of the Saudi Arabian legal system? While MBS claims to have a new vision for a better tomorrow that will change some significant regulations in Saudi Arabia, the Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, aims to diversify the economy and modernize society. But will it be enough to address the underlying issues? As Saudi Arabia modernizes, the tension between tradition and modernity grows. How the country navigates this tension will shape its future. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 represents a comprehensive blueprint for the kingdom's economic and social transformation. Spearheaded by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, this ambitious initiative aims to diversify the Saudi economy, reduce its dependence on oil, and unleash the potential of its citizens to thrive in a rapidly evolving global landscape. Vision 2030 underscores the importance of social and cultural revitalization. Efforts to enhance quality of life, promote cultural heritage, and empower Saudi citizens, particularly women and youth, are integral to the kingdom's long-term prosperity. By investing in education, healthcare, and social infrastructure, Saudi Arabia aims to build a more inclusive society where all individuals can contribute to and benefit from the nation's progress. Moreover, the timeline for achieving the objectives outlined in Vision 2030 raises questions about its feasibility. Rapid transformations often entail disruptive changes that can strain existing systems and institutions. Ensuring a smooth transition while mitigating potential social and economic disruptions will require prudent policymaking and proactive measures to address any unforeseen consequences. Furthermore, Vision 2030's emphasis on economic diversification and investment in non-oil sectors could disrupt established global supply chains and trade patterns. Additionally, Vision 2030's success relies heavily on foreign investment and collaboration with international partners. However, concerns regarding political stability, human rights issues, and transparency in Saudi Arabia could deter some investors and partners from fully engaging with the kingdom. This could impact the pace and scale of implementation of Vision 2030 initiatives, limiting their potential impact both domestically and globally. Examining Saudi Arabia's societal dynamics reveals a tapestry woven with complexities, contradictions, and controversies. From its deeply ingrained gender disparities to its rigid social norms, the kingdom stands as a stark embodiment of many societal issues plaguing our world today. As we navigate the intricate landscape of global societies, let us heed the lessons from Saudi Arabia and strive towards a future where justice, equality, and human dignity reign supreme. For it is only through acknowledging the wrongs that we can truly pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive tomorrow.